What I'm holding in my hand is 3 very large bunches of kale. One of the secrets of prepping is that vegan prepping is actually kind of easy and everyone can use it. You don't have to be a vegan. I'm going to show you this one today.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Now, prepping these things for dehydrating is pretty easy. I'm just showing here by volume how much volume those 3 bunches of kale takes up. And I took out 2 leaves specifically. I want to show you what we're looking at. You've got the leafy green on either side of this central stem. Now, I have dehydrated the central stem in the past and it turns into a hard stick, completely inedible. I'm guessing if you ran it through a coffee grinder or something, you could grind it to dust and perhaps make it usable. But what you do with this is you take a sharp fillet knife and you just fillet down each side of the stem. You fillet down this side and then you fillet down that side, similar to filleting a fish. And you want the leafy green portions of it. These smaller stems I've found to not be an issue. It's just the central stem. You want to get rid of that. So I will basically fillet all these leaves up and then show you what I'm left with. Okay, I'm going to show you the prep work here, and I decided instead of a fillet knife, I'm going to do a little food prep test here of a little Spyderco I picked up in M390. And if you hear kids music in the background, I do apologize, but I'm keeping somebody entertained while I do this. So it's very simple. You can follow along the line here and just shave off the leaves on each side of this. And as soon as you figure out that consistent line that the leaf grows on each side of the stem, it's fairly easy. And so we're going to just follow that along down there. And I like to follow it through pretty much until the end, which is right there, and it pops off. This stem, like I said, if you dehydrate this, it turns into a stick. I know smoothies can be made from this fresh, so you know, I wouldn't waste it, but you can do as you see fit. And it doesn't matter whether these leaves stay in one piece or are cut up into pieces at this point, as basically we're getting that big stem out of there, which is what's important. And that's one. Oop. You know what? I'm going to get another bowl to store these stems in. That's what I'm going to do. Here we go. Alright, that's the stem bowl. So, just keep this going, and we will get through this. Okay, done here. So, first off, Spyderco did a great job, so I'll do a much longer review on that. But the principle of this versus a fillet knife is the same. It's a sharp, thin blade, so it makes slicing this easier. Secondly, one of the leaves was kind of wilted. I'm just going to discard it. It's not worth the risk. But as you can see here, I've got a little bit more than that big bowl left here. So I've got the big bowl here. I've got a little bit here, and then I've got all these stems here, and I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with these stems. For right now, we're going to start putting these onto the dehydrating trays. And the dehydrator is a little more complicated than the simple Presto dehydrator. I forget where exactly I got this. I want to say, though, it was probably a Myers up north, which is kind of like a nicer version of Walmart, kind of like a Target, but whoop. Sorry, I forgot those things just turn on when you plug them in. So what I'm going to do is loosely place this all around, and it doesn't matter whether it's touching or not, because this stuff is so voluminous in its green state that it's perfectly fine. And I'm going to try to put in quite enough there so that I can place it evenly across the dehydrator. So, yeah, that's one level. And it's totally fine if it's got a little bit of a gap there before you start drying. That will, again, go down as it dries. Fair warning, you do this, you're going to make your house smell like a fart. That's just what happens. That's just what happens with kale. So, I will get the rest of these loaded up, and we will get this puppy started. This is a very, very easy thing to dehydrate. Kale is honestly the first thing I dehydrated, I think, even before I did any meat dehydrating, because it was just a practice run. I wanted to see what I could do with kale. I might have done some stone fruits first, but I have found kale to be the easiest thing. I'm going to overpack this layer just to prove a point that you can overpack it when it comes to kale. And that is, okay. This really want to. Read all the one. Yeah, I made some layer. Yeah, I did. Yeah, a little more. Cool. And last layer. This is about. I'm okay. No, I'm not. Okay. Last little bits. And the last thing I dehydrated this was kale. So I'm going to clean before I get for this. I like doing kale dust, but it's just such an easy thing to cook with once you're done. So put it on. Bring it up and plug it. You can hear the fan going, of course. And the nice thing with this is because it's so voluminous, you saw that some of it was wet, but there are so many openings here that it's the hot air, you know, the warm air is going to blow the moisture out of this, and then it'll compact down. So we will come back when this is all dehydrated, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, we're about halfway through, and like you can see now that everything has, as it's dehydrated, it's just compacted down in size, and these are now closing together. It's starting to get little crispy at points, which is what we're looking for. So I'm just going to leave that in there and let it go. Oh, probably needs only about another half hour to an hour. Okay, it is dry. So now for the last trick. And for this, we're going to deploy the secret weapon, which is basically any Ziploc bag. I like the gallon size because I can get a lot of this done in here. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the dried kale leaves, and I'm going to put a bunch in here to drive the point home of how well this works. Okay. Now see that? So let's let out a little bit of air. And it crushes down to a fine powder. Still completely usable in cooking. And I actually like adding this to tuna fish as well, to tuna salad and tuna fish sandwiches. Gives it a nice earthy flavor to the tuna. So let's put the rest in here. There's one whole level. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, since this is pretty boring. I'm going to put all of this, all three stacks in here, into this bag, and then I'll come back and I'll show you the crushing. Okay, I'm on the last rack, and I can barely fit this in here just because of the volume. This is before I do the crush, which is going to take it down to the powder. And you're going to be amazed at how much this decreases in volume when you crush it to the powder. Kind of stop right there. I'll get these last little bits later. I want to make a point. I'm going to almost close it off. Start crushing it down. You can already see how much that compacts down. Okay. I think that is going to be just right for that jar. Let's take a look here. And I have cleaned this out. Well, maybe need 2 jars. There we go. Oh, so close. Let me grab something real quick here. Let's try to push that down. And what can we use? We can use a spoon. There we go. Compact it down even further in there. There we go. Just amazing how much you can crush down kale into a powder form. This is also done with green tea a lot. If you see green tea powder in grocery stores, it's a similar process. But yeah, look at that. All that kale. 3 full bunches of kale. And if I compact it down more, there is still more room in there. So I'm going to clean this up, follow the same process, and put the rest of it in there. But now you have 3 bunches of kale that you can store. Now I store this in the refrigerator. This particular jar, it's a repurpose of a jar from a salsa I picked up from someplace. But I cleaned it out, and I'm just going to store this in the fridge. I did keep the cap as well. So I'm not canning this, so I don't know. You know, if you repurpose jars like this, don't water bath or pressure can them, because they're not necessarily always built for repeated use that way. Just get supplies specific for that. But that's not what I'm going to use this for. It's simply to show how I can store this in a much smaller volume. And what's great is, like I said, this is still completely usable in this form in recipes where you want to add, you know, add your vitamins and stuff, get your leafy greens this way. It's a very nice way to get your greens, and it compacts a whole lot of nutrition down to a very small carrying size. So anyway, hope you found this interesting. Thanks. Bye.